Midnight hide and seek. Beyond miles of dying, cornfields stood an old farmhouse, abandoned by time and hidden beneath a storm-dark sky. Its wooden walls sagged with age, its windows stared blankly into the night, and the wind whistled through broken fences like distant cries. 5 cousins arrived there just before sunset for their grandfather's funeral. Ethan, the oldest, immediately disliked the place. Mia felt uneasy the moment she saw the dark woods surrounding the property. Jacob tried to joke about everything, hiding his fear behind a smile. Little Sophie stayed close to her flashlight, while Noah wandered through the dusty halls as if the farmhouse were calling to him. That evening, a powerful storm rolled across the countryside. The adults left before nightfall, leaving the cousins alone inside the enormous farmhouse. Rain hammered the roof. Thunder shook the walls. At exactly 11:47 p.m., the electricity died. Darkness swallowed the house. The cousins gathered around. Candles in the living room. Long shadows crawled across the walls whenever lightning flashed outside. Then Noah discovered an old handwritten note hidden beneath a grandfather clock. Contained only one warning: never play hide and seek after midnight. The message unsettled everyone, but curiosity soon overcame fear. At 11:59 p.m., they decided to play one round. Ethan volunteered to count. The others scattered through the house. As Ethan counted, the farmhouse creaked. Around him, somewhere upstairs, a door slowly opened by itself. When he reached 20 and turned around, the candles had gone out. Only darkness remained. Using his flashlight, Ethan searched the living room. His beam landed on a crooked family portrait. Hanging on the wall, there were 6 children standing beside his grandfather. Not 5. The face of the 6th child had been scratched away. A cold chill ran down Ethan's spine. Then he heard footsteps upstairs, slow, dragging. He followed them to his grandfather's bedroom. Inside, he found Sophie hiding beneath the bed, trembling with fear. "Someone else is here," she whispered. Before Ethan could respond, another voice echoed from the closet. "Found you." The voice sounded exactly like Noah. The closet door slowly opened. Darkness darker than the room itself poured from within. Ethan grabbed Sophie and ran. Outside, they found Mia and Jacob equally terrified. Then they heard counting. A child's voice coming from downstairs. The cousins cautiously approached the staircase. Lightning flashed. For a brief moment, they saw a small boy standing in the living room below. He wore old-fashioned clothes stained with mud. His back faced them. 19:20. The counting stopped. Silence filled the farmhouse. Suddenly, every door upstairs slammed shut. The lights flickered on for only a second. And in that second, they saw him, the 6th child from the portrait. Pale gray skin, black eyes, water dripping from his clothes. Then darkness returned. Jacob tried to run. Something unseen grabbed his ankle from beneath the stairs. He screamed as he was dragged into the darkness. His flashlight spun across the floor. Then he vanished. His screams echoed briefly, then stopped. The remaining cousins locked themselves inside the grandfather's bedroom. Outside, footsteps circled the room. Children laughed in the hallway. One voice became 2. 2 became 10. Soon dozens of children seemed to be standing outside the door. Then Noah appeared inside the room. No one had seen him enter. He stood facing the wall. Slowly he turned around. His smile stretched unnaturally wide. "He doesn't like when people stop playing," Noah whispered. Behind him emerged the drowned boy. Then another child. Then another. The room filled with pale ghost children with black eyes. The drowned boy finally spoke. "Grandfather hit us." The truth slowly emerged. Years ago, children had disappeared. Near the farmhouse, Their grandfather had known something. Perhaps he had even tried to contain it. Before anyone could learn more, the bedroom door burst open. Cold wind rushed inside. The ghost children pointed toward Ethan, Mia, and Sophie. Your turn to hide. Darkness swallowed everything, and the counting began again. When the darkness faded, Ethan, Mia, and Sophie found themselves trapped in a twisted version of the farmhouse. The hallways stretched endlessly. Doors appeared where none had existed before. Reality itself seemed broken. At the end of one impossible hallway stood a figure resembling Jacob. His face was hidden in shadow. The cousins followed him into strange rooms filled with mirrors, ghostly reflections, and abandoned toys. Deep within the farmhouse, they discovered evidence of decades of disappearances. Old photographs, newspaper clippings, missing children. The deeper they traveled, the more they realized the farmhouse was hiding something ancient. Noah slowly changed. His behavior became stranger, his eyes darker, his connection to the drowned boy stronger. Eventually, the cousins discovered a hidden underground chamber. There, dozens of ghost children stood in a circle around the drowned boy. Together, they counted in eerie unison. At the center of the chamber stood an ancient wooden door covered in claw marks. Behind it waited something terrible. When the door opened, endless darkness lay beyond. Within that darkness stood an enormous shadow entity, the true master of the game. The drowned boy and ghost children seemed to serve him. Meanwhile, Jacob reappeared. He was alive, but something was wrong. His clothes were soaked. His eyes had become black. He led the cousins to another hidden chamber where the truth of the farmhouse finally emerged. Long ago, their grandfather had discovered the entity beneath the house. He had tried to keep it trapped. The ghost children were victims caught inside its game. The drowned boy had been the first. As the entity awakened, the farmhouse began transforming completely. Walls twisted, rooms changed shape, reality collapsed. For a brief moment, Jacob regained control of himself. He warned Ethan, Mia, and Sophie that the game must never be completed. If the counting reached its end, the entity would enter the human world forever. Desperate for answers, the cousins searched the farmhouse. They eventually discovered their grandfather's hidden journal. Inside were warnings, symbols, and instructions. One ancient symbol had the power to seal the entity, but there wasn't much time. The drowned boy continued counting. Ghost children emerged from every shadow. The cousins were forced into a terrifying chase through collapsing hallways. At last, Ethan confronted the drowned boy directly. There he learned the boy's tragic story. The drowned boy wasn't evil. He had been trapped for decades, used by the entity, forced to continue the game. Determined to end the nightmare, Ethan used the sealing symbol from the journal. A brilliant light erupted through the farmhouse. The ancient entity responded with fury. It emerged fully from the darkness, a massive shape surrounded by endless black fog. The true horror beneath the farmhouse. Despite their fear, Ethan, Mia, and Sophie stood together. The sealing ritual began. The ghost children started changing. Their black eyes faded. Their terrifying smiles disappeared. For the first time in decades, they looked like ordinary children again. The drowned boy's expression softened. The curse was breaking. The entity fought desperately to remain free, but the seal grew stronger. Light consumed the darkness. The ancient shadow entity was dragged into a collapsing vortex and imprisoned once more. As the curse ended, the farmhouse began to collapse around them. Walls shattered, floors cracked, the entire structure crumbled. Ethan, Mia, and Sophie barely escaped. Behind them, the farmhouse disappeared into ruins. The storm ended. Sunlight rose over the fields. For the first time, silence returned. The ghost children were gone. The drowned boy was finally free, and the nightmare seemed over. But deep within the ruins, something remained. A hallway that should no longer exist. Far in the darkness stood a small child-shaped shadow, motionless, watching. A faint whisper drifted through the morning air. Ready or not? And then silence. The game was over, or perhaps it was only waiting to begin again.